What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Connect podcast. We're at episode 25?
25.
25. It's been a couple weeks since we recorded. We're still trying to figure out, where we're gonna be, and just bear with us. We'll have a more constant stream of podcasts coming in here. But today we have Cesar here, the super lender, well-known lender here in San Diego. And Cesar and Javi just closed the deal.
Yeah, just yesterday.
Yeah, it was a young couple. They wanted to buy something up north, and Javi came in clutch. He was able to get them in.
Made the drive.
Javi knows the northern territories pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
But before we get into the deal and all of that, how about you introduce yourself? Say how long you've been in the business. Tell them a little bit about your business that you do.
Okay, so what's up, everyone? My name is Cesar Holguin. I go by Superlender. I created Superlender back in 2021. My background was I've been in business management. I manage multiple branches, two different banks for over 10 years. And then I decided to jump out and just do strictly mortgage, which it started in 2021.
Nice. And you like the lending side better?
Yeah, I felt that I had more control on the transactions. And then obviously I was able to build more connections, network more. When I was in the bank, I represented the bank, and I was always there 6 days a week, open to close. But I only represented the banks. I couldn't do a lot of the stuff that I can do now.
Yeah. Just a little bit of history. We actually closed a deal together in Temecula as well.
Yeah.
That was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, about 3 years ago.
4 years ago. So, yeah, I mean, do great at what you do, and obviously it shows in your business, right? You've grown it to a certain point. What's the most deals that you've done,
In a month, in a year, I believe I was able to hit 42 loans. I had a bigger team. With the whole economy a couple of years ago, we had to downgrade the team, but that was probably the best year that I had, 42 loans.
Wow, 42 loans is a lot. Yeah, what is the struggle that you see right now?
Right now, the struggle that I see, obviously in San Diego, it's hard to qualify depending on your income. So a lot of people feel they're stuck in the past where like, oh, my family member bought and they were making less than me. So now it's like, even though you're making six figures, you might not qualify for the 3-bedroom house. You might have to start with like a small condo, townhome, and eventually move up from there.
I think that's a great point, right? It's like we're in a situation where affordability is the hardest thing right now, right? And what we always preach or try to preach to our clients is like, you get in where you fit in, right? Like, buy when you can and get what you can, right? Because that equity growth, right, is going to launch you to the next step. And it's hard to compare with what we went through in 2020, 2021, even half of 2022 to the current market right now, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many people that are stuck in that little timeline, in that time frame that wasn't like a real time frame, right? And you have people like, oh, well, I want my payment to be, $3,500 for a $7,000, $8,000 house, and you're just like, the numbers don't add up, right? And we're talking about numbers. You're the number guy, so it's like, what are some tips and tricks that you've been using to help people get into these new, like, what the actual payments of these places are?
Yeah, you said it yourself. Unfortunately, right now, affordability is an issue in San Diego. But if you think about it, if you have two young couples like the couple that we just helped, if you combine their income and if they really want a house like a single family, Riverside is only an hour and a half, depending where you live. You can always use that as an option, or start down here with the $4,000 payment on a small condo townhome. Eventually, down the line, within a year or two, you can always sell and upgrade to a duplex, which the duplex will help you qualify for a little bit more because you're going to collect rent on one of the units and you can live in the other unit. And then eventually, you can rent out both and then just buy a single family house using all the incomes plus the incomes that you guys generate.
Yeah. Something I wanted to bring up before then is like, how many people do you see on these loans right nowadays, right? Like you're saying, like 1-2 incomes buying a 500. Like, what's the most people you've seen on an application?
I've actually done a loan with 6 people when it was
Six
mom, dad.
incomes.
Yeah, 6 incomes. It was mom, dad, the son and his girlfriend, and then the daughter and her husband. But they bought a really nice house, $1 million house right here, 92154. But it took 6 people for them to qualify. They all had one auto loan though, so which kind of made it a little bit more difficult too.
Yeah.
That's not super uncommon because we have a mutual client that's doing the same thing. Every time I go to show properties, there's 8 people that show up to see the house because all of them are going to eventually live there at some point, and he's juggling 8 different people.
Yeah, and it's crazy how much harder that makes your job, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're used to 1 applicant, 2 applicants, maybe 3 applicants, and then now it's like we have to have everybody and their brother and sister on the loan. It definitely adds levels of stress, I guess you could say, to the loan, right? Levels of uncertainty, because then everybody's credit scores, everybody's debt. It's like all of these multiple stacks. It's not friendly for the market, which is just the market right now. I feel like every deal is you have to walk on eggshells around it, right? Whether even like the easy deals, it's like everybody's a little bit sensitive.
Yeah.
Whether it's payment sensitive, like with the monthly payment, or like repair sensitive, right? Like buyers are like, I'm not gonna deal with this. I'll just go buy another house because there's other houses that are on the market. There's deals out there, right? So that's something when we're talking to our clients is like explaining that, like expect them to send a request for repairs, not because their house is beat up, but because they know they have options, right? And they're gonna use that leverage, right? So it's crazy to see the market shift so quickly in one direction. But like you were talking about, right? The long-term game plan, right?
Yeah.
Building up equity, using that equity to, maybe leverage for a down payment or selling it or becoming a landlord, which a lot of people are doing because their other homes are stuck in 2% interest rates, right? Like, and you never want to give that up, right? So if you could cash flow on your initial purchase, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that you've done before. I didn't know this about you, but we've been, running the stairs every week, getting to know each other a little bit better. And you, at one point, had 5 properties?
At one point, I owned 5 properties.
Wow.
And I did everything, like Clinton was saying, I did everything with 1 income in the past, but it was still doable. There's different loans, there's strategies that you can take, but you just have to get advice from professionals, not from the family members, from actual professionals, because they know what they're doing. They do that every day, and it works out eventually.
Yeah, like we had a talk with Haram, right, the other day. Like, this is where you want to start, and this is where you want to end. But unless you know your situation and your beginning, it's hard to get you to that direction, right? That's why we always say, like, hey, make a consultation with us. We'll look at your exact situation, right, and be able to make a game plan for you because you've seen it. There's so many different situations, from the single guy that has enough to qualify by himself to 8 people on a loan, right? So going back to your story, how did you get from 1 to 5?
Yeah. So in 2015, I was still working at the bank. I went to a broker, and then I told him, like, hey, I want to buy a condo. I believe I was making like $20 an hour. So I bought a condo right there in Chula Vista, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. My payment was probably like $1,600. And then unfortunately, my mom at the time, she lost her job a few months down the road, and I ended up renting my condo. And then we ended up using an FHA because I used convention on the first loan. So I did an FHA. I upgraded to a duplex in Logan, which I still currently own. A lot of people didn't want to move into Logan, but the way I saw it is the Chargers were still in town. I was hoping that they would build a stadium. Unfortunately, they ended up leaving, but Logan started upgrading and they started doing a lot of businesses, which caused my appreciation to skyrocket. So I still have that one. And then from there, I wanted to live on my own because I had the 2 tenants. So I rented out all the 2 duplex and the condo, and then I bought a house in Spring Valley in 2019. So I moved over to Spring Valley, and then I got creative here. I built some studios in the property in Spring Valley, which generated more rents. So now that's when I met my wife now, and we ended up living there in Spring Valley for a couple years. And we bought in 2022 when the rates were super high and nobody wanted to buy. I got a really good deal. I got a bunch of seller credits, and they covered pretty much everything I requested because people were not buying. But the way I saw it, I had the income. I felt comfortable with the payment, so we took the leap of faith. And last year,
That was not your last house.
yeah, that was in 2022. And then in 2024, I bought my current house, which was my dream location. I currently live in Rolling Hills. So like that to me was like my bucket list, but I couldn't do it on my own and my wife's income. So I used the rents that I was generating with the other houses to make sure that I was going to qualify for this house.
And every step of the way was probably scary as hell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Took a risk to take
Yeah.
another risk, to take another
Yeah.
risk, to take another risk. And, something that's been on my mind is like everybody's going through a hard time right now, right? Like there's definitely pressure, affordability, all of these things that add up, right? And it's crazy, like the lesson that you learn from those hard times, right? Because now you were at 5 properties.
Yeah.
And now you're down 2.
I'm down to 3 properties. I'm actually downgrading right now because unfortunately in 2023, one of my houses flooded during the rains in January. So I was kind of forced to sell. I repaired the house. I did everything I could to make it look very nice, and I had to sell the house. So I took home my money, which is what I used for the down payment for my current house. But I mean, if I would have had a chance, I would have kept it. But it's okay. Like it got me to where I wanted to be right now.
Exactly, right? So you learned a lesson from the struggle, pivoted, sold it, and now you're able to, live at the standards that you want to live, while you're still continuing to, game plan, play Monopoly out there and grow it. It's admirable. Like I like seeing like people that actually are playing the game, right? Because we talk about it all the time. Me myself, I want to buy more properties. I was telling you about my Airbnb, and like that one is killing it. It's like the best decision I've ever made. Well, second best. My first best is my first home, right? Like that house killed it for me.
Yeah.
This next, the Chula Vista house is doing amazing. But I feel like each time you take a risk, it's scary, and a lot of people are not willing to take that jump because they don't know what to expect, right? But every time I've taken a risk, it's paid off, right? And even if you have to backpedal, like you said, downgrade a little bit, like look at the position you're in, right? Like, I'm selling a house. How much did you make off the house that flooded?
The one in Spring Valley, I took home close to 300,000.
Yeah. See? So it's like you took the risk, you made the money. Yes, you ran into a wall, like with that property, but you pivoted and then you still like came out on top, right?
Yeah.
So it's like take the risk, right?
And you know what is funny, because that house I bought in 2019, I bought it for 530,000. And some of my close friends and family, they told me, you overpaid. Why would you pay so much? Like, it's so much. But like, I mean, I was able to make the payment. We did the numbers, and it broke even. I had the other rents. People didn't know that I had the other properties. But the way I saw it is I was still scared. Not going to lie. It's more assets. You have to be more disciplined with your spending. But when I did the math, it just made sense to me. And I ignored everything, and I just made the purchase. And fast forward a couple years, 300,000. I'm assuming a lot of these people that are giving advice, they probably do not generate 300,000 in assets. So this is why, like, I feel like real estate, it's a good asset to have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, we're going through a time where it's less growth, but in the last 2 years, we still seen 3 to 5% growth in San Diego, right? And that's with these high interest rates. When the interest rates drop, and this is something we always preach, is like they are continuing to go down. We've seen it for the last 3 weeks in a row. But as they go down, we see it already. It's a natural cycle. Like,
Yeah.
how many applications did you get last week?
Yeah, this week, if I've seen 4 pre-approvals, so I'm starting to see more and more applications. More people are interested, and more people. It feels like more people are about to start the process. So
Get ready.
jump on it now.
Jump on it now, yeah. So, and this is a natural cycle that we see, especially in San Diego. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years. I can't speak for other places, but we always see it, right? The winter time gets slower. New Year's comes, people get excited, and then the housing prices kind of jump up a little bit right after New Year's, and then people are, like, am I making the right move? And then all of a sudden by spring, full effect, full effect, right? And it's gonna be from March, which is already starting, right, until August. And then it's gonna be the same thing over again, right? If you want to pay the most for a house, buy a house in July, right? Or buy your house in end of May, right? If you want to get the best deal, start thinking about maybe saving, buying in the wintertime, or buy now before it gets to spring, right? We had a listing that went live last week, and it's an escrow, 20,000 over, 4 days on the market, right? I have to, give ourselves some props because there's 3 other places in there that are for sale. None of them got offers. They're still pending, right? And they're at lower price points than ours, right? So if you want to sell your house for top dollar, reach out because we're doing something right? It's definitely. I mean, it's the product, yes, right. The house is nice, but I think the other ones are nice too. So it really comes down to your agent, the price points that you're pricing at. The traffic that you're getting through the homes, and the negotiation tactics on the back end once you guys get offers. But yeah, that house went into escrow real quick. From that, my client's pivoting. They're actually they got their offer accepted on their replacement home. So contingent, if you're contingent at all right now, make a move because there's sellers out there that are willing to accept your offer, right? There's opportunities for contingent sellers, right? If you have to sell to move, and again, talking about your situation, right? If you don't have to sell, if you could become a landlord, or if that's something you want to do, like the opportunities are still available. And as good as anybody, once it starts getting busy, all of those opportunities go away, right? It's like highest and best, and who has the most cash, right? From your standpoint, what would you say would be like, other than cash, what is the strongest loan?
The strongest loan, I mean, obviously, if you're a first-time home buyer, the FHA is a great product. You don't have to come in with as much down payment. Or if in San Diego, we have a lot of veterans, so if you have access to a VA loan, use it, leverage it, because you can literally come in with 0 down payment. And they would cover your private mortgage insurance as well. To me, those 2 products are the go-to for like the first-time home buyers. Once you become like a landlord, you have to explore other options. There is 40-year loans. There is DSCR loans, which the DSCR, as long as the rent covers your payment, you qualify. They don't look at your assets. They don't look at your taxes. They don't look at your deposits. And there's also P&L loans. You get your accountant to let us know how much you make, and we go based on that. And then the bank statement loan is also popular for a lot of the investors.
All those are great options. It's crazy that you say bring up the DSCR. It's something that you guys are working with right now, right? Is she doing DSCR or?
With her, she's actually coming with a big down payment.
Okay, so it's conventional.
Conventional.
But in San Diego, it's so hard to have a DSCR loan, right?
Yeah.
Just because of the actual cost of the places, and versus the rents that you're getting right now. So I mean, using those creative financing definitely helped you get to a place where three properties now.
Yeah.
And big goals of multi-units.
Yeah, I'm looking into hopefully buying something more doors. So I might sell my duplex to get maybe 4 to 8 doors. So that would be the next step. And I'll probably look into getting something like an investor loan, a DSCR, or a 40-year loan, interest only, just anything for me to gain the property. Once I have the property, then I'll see what I can do in the future.
That's dope. Like, I want to get there too. I was telling you. I think my biggest next project is my house. So we just got the appraisal done on my house. So I'm gonna be, starting that project. It's taking forever, but I think like that's just the time that we're going to. Like everything takes longer.
Yeah.
And everything. It's crazy because like when everything's moving fast, then everybody moves fast and everybody's working at different speed. But like when everything's slow, everything slows down and everything kind of like goes at slow motion, which is one of the reasons I feel like the deals right now are a little bit harder because people are like moving slow, but like they're trying to move fast, so they end up like braking. I don't know if that makes sense. Like when you're driving a car and then like you don't want, I don't know, like the same thing, but like you don't warm it up and you just try to like go real quick, and you're gonna break it, right?
And you know what? It's funny you say that because I have a few offers that went out this week, and it's usually the turnaround's 24 hours, and some of these offers we're getting an answer within like 3 days because it's kind of like slowing down, or maybe they're waiting for other offers to come in, but it does impact the way that
you do
close the
business.
deal.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because that switched overnight, right?
Yeah.
Like September 2022, everything changed. Right? As soon as the rates went to 5.5%, it's nuts. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the market. I see it picking up already, and we've said this before, but we set ourselves up, not only ourselves, but our customers up for a place of success. I have listings that are coming to the market this spring, right? So I've told multiple people, like, don't list your house in the winter time. You're not gonna get top dollar. At least last winter, it was very slow, right? Wait until spring, you're gonna get a better price for your house. So if you're out there and you want to sell your house, let us know. How about what else you guys got going on? You guys personal goals? I'm down like 10 pounds, man.
Yeah, no. Speaking of personal goals, I've been slacking on the stairs for a bit, but I've seen Cesar out there, like, came out of nowhere, and he's been super consistent.
Yeah.
Four workouts a week, plus the
yeah.
stairs every Wednesday.
You say you dropped 10 pounds already?
Yeah, I dropped 10 pounds, and I still...
In a month?
In about a month, and then obviously I'm trying to keep up with Clinton. He's in better condition than me, but he keeps me accountable, and then he's the one that kind of challenges me because I see he goes up and down more than me, so it kind of like pushes me to try even harder.
And that kind of did it come out of nowhere, or was it a New Year's resolution? Because one day, you just showed up on a Wednesday, and then you've been consistent ever since. Like, I don't know if it was, something that planned beforehand or just
no, you know what? I used to work out after work, but at the beginning of the year, I kind of told myself, like, you know what? I have to be more consistent because after work, it changes. Sometimes I wouldn't go. Sometimes I would go to dinner. When you have stuff to do, life happens. So I wasn't as consistent. So I kind of sat down and I kind of talked to myself. I was like, if I go every morning, I'm in control. I'm 100%. I can control this. Nobody's gonna call me in the morning. I don't have to do things in the morning. So I switched it up and I work out in the morning now. And that's how I've been able to stay consistent.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's like, take care of yourself first, right? I'm on this like crazy routine right now where I have something going on every day. I usually only take Mondays off. But I'm loving it, man. I feel good. I feel light. I feel good on the ice, everything. Like, I don't know. I'm like talking about cars. Like I'm running like on the peak performance, you know? I wish I could eat more, but that's like the one thing that it's like always hard,
it's the
right?
trade-off, yeah.
But I'll eat what I want tomorrow and then be back on it. But like that discipline, showing up for yourself in the morning, winning in the morning, like there's a lot of benefits to like knocking it out and starting it, and it's good to have you out there, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
And like seeing you go from when you first started with us, almost 2 months in. Or?
Yeah, 2 months in.
2 months in. What was the first time when you went out to the stairs? How many?
I think I did 5 times, and it was like the toughest 5.
and now, this Wednesday, 2 days ago, you did 12.
Yeah, 12.
Knocking out 12.
And
right?
I do it faster and easier. I don't struggle as much. So I'm getting better. I'm trying to get to 15.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy because for the longest time we only did 10.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like a year. We didn't try, and we were like, okay, should we do more? And
We started bumping it up.
one at a week.
Yeah, one a
week.
week till I think we eventually
Hit 20.
hit 20.
Wow.
I don't think I made 20. I probably did 17, 18. Clint
I
was
did
getting up
20,
to
yeah.
20, and then we started scaling it back.
Javi added a weight vest.
I got a little.
I gotta do the weight vest
12,
thing.
13 pound weight vest. Yeah, it's.
But yeah, before we leave here, I wanna weigh myself in there and see what I'm at because I feel like I'm doing really good. Do you have a goal? Like you want to have a certain weight that you want to lose, or are you just doing it for overall?
I like you said, I just want to feel good. I want to feel good. I mean, obviously there's challenges. I know it's cold, it's raining. I mean, I love to sleep too, but it's like every day I wake up and it's like, come on, you got to do this at least for myself. Like I do so many other things for everyone else. It's like at least take care of myself.
Yeah, pay yourself first.
So like there's no goal weight or anything. I just want to feel good and just look better.
And over the last, I would say like, cause you've seen results now.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that? Like, do you feel better?
Oh yeah, I definitely feel better. I've played soccer my whole life. I stopped last year and I'm going back to playing and I feel happy now. Like I enjoy working out now.
Yeah, it's like, dang, this is not a drag.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out here and I could compete.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exact feeling, man. It's good, but yeah, me personally, I think when I took away the goal of like losing weight, then it became easier, and I've just been like focusing on the repetition, consistency, doing it every week. So shout out to the Run Club, Adams Run Club. I'm out there every Friday, so we run 3 miles there. I work out at the gym twice a week. Then I do the stairs on Wednesday and I play hockey on Sunday. And in between there, I usually do some other stuff. I know one of my good friends and clients, Tony, he was coming out with us on Wednesdays for a while, but he had to go back to the office. So we might actually do an extra stair set on Saturdays.
The weekends.
You want to join us, Javi?
Oh yeah, I'm good for weekends every other Friday. I'm good for it.
Yeah. And then hopefully we can start playing some more golf, man. Because I wanna play golf. I've been like itching to play golf.
I gotta break into new clubs. Do you play?
No, not yet.
All right,
It's,
we'll bring
some of
you
my
up.
cousins play, my friends, a lot of my realtor friends, but I'm more contact. Like I need to be out there, football, maybe basketball, soccer. It feels like golf is you have to be very patient.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it is. It's one of those sports that like, it's so hard that when you do something right, it's like it's so
It's rewarding.
You know, so like you go out and play golf, and I suck at golf, so I'm not like bragging. But you go out and you hit one shot, and it makes the whole day, right? And
I'm still high off that eagle I made.
that was sick ass shot 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2-3 years ago, and I'm still.
We were
I'm still
like
riding
pumped
that
right
wave.
there, like jump high fives
Yeah,
in
that
the
was
middle of the
incredible.
course. Yeah, that was for the Emo Brown tournament. That was fun. Yeah, man, we gotta play some more golf. You know, I think just enjoying life right now, right? Even in the hard times, you have to enjoy life. You know, I have another baby on the way, so it's crazy, man. It's gonna be a fun year. The market's heating up, and I have some really good goals, and I think that they're gonna hit. Do you have any goals? Anything you want to put out there into the
Yeah,
universe?
I'm shooting for 44 loans.
44.
I'm shooting for 24 mil.
That'll break your record.
Yeah, that would break my record, make it my best year, and then obviously to gain more relationships this year is I challenge myself to attend 2 new events every month. So if you guys see me out there, is I'm trying to meet new people, work with more people, support more people.
Nice. Those are good goals, man. How are you? Are you like on track to meet the 44?
Yes. So I am on track. So I do hold myself accountable. I have a tracker that I do daily, and I check it out every week. So it kind of keeps me accountable.
Nice. Yeah, man. I think it's awesome. We didn't really get into like your backstory or anything like that, but you're from San Diego.
I'm from San Diego. I grew up down south. I went to Southwest High. So back then we didn't have all these high schools. So that's the reason why I know a lot of the realtors, a lot of escrow officers, because we all went to the same high school. And I played soccer my whole life in different clubs. So that's how I know a lot of the people from the down south.
Nice. So South Bay. I actually went to Mar Vista. What year were you?
I was 2004.
2004 as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy, how small how small San Diego is, right? Like, we have like the smallest world
Yeah.
in like one of the nicest cities. It's really easy to know a lot of people, especially being from South Bay. I feel like I have a big network of people that I know exactly the same thing. But
And now it's funny you say that because now I have two kids. They both play sports. So some of the coaches I went to high school with, some of my son's teachers I went to high school with. So it's like it's funny. We all connect somehow.
yeah, we do. We all connect somehow. And it's amazing to see that other people that grew up in the same area and everything, being able to pursue their dreams and live them, owning 5 houses, thinking about buying multifamily, like we're not just preaching this, we're doing this, you know what I mean? So anybody could do it, take the risk, put in the hard work, and I think another thing is focus on helping people, right? Like if you're out there helping people, you're gonna get it back, right? And we're big on that Connect. We appreciate you coming on. You're welcome back anytime, and we hope that we could, get a more consistent podcast going. We're gonna work on that. But for now, I think it's a good podcast. You have anything to offer?
This is an advice for everyone that's trying to do anything. Seek professional advice. Do not go to your friend. Do not go to your uncle. I'm not saying that they don't have good advice, but a lot of times it's different. Times have changed. So whatever it is that you're trying to do, make sure that you connect with the right person to get you there.
Yeah. Javi, you want to add anything?
I just want to say that Cesar's my go-to guy. He's made every transaction that we've done easy. I mean, seamless. Every time I put somebody in Cesar's hands, if it's a client, I don't have to worry about it. It's been great getting to know him. So yeah, that's
awesome. Where could we find you if you put out your Instagram?
My Instagram is superlender_. I initially started superlender SD, but then I kind of figured that SD might throw away or give away some clients because I can actually do all of California and other states. So I narrowed it down to superlender_, or you can just give me a call at 619-279-3897.
Nice, man. It's great to have you on. Let's keep it
thank
up.
you. Thank you.
Keep up the stairs. And it was a great episode. Remember to hit subscribe, follow, like, comment. We're still going to give away a TV. So maybe if you comment enough, you'll be the winner. Until next week.
Stay connected.